Hi everybody, it's Josh and Elizabeth from tfaw.com bringing you this week's awesome new releases.
Totally awesome. I am starting with the totally awesome Spider-Girl, number 3 by Paul Tobin. This is a delightful book. In issue number 2, spoiler alert, I was shocked when Anya's father was killed. And it felt kind of abrupt, and I'm so used to comic book deaths not being real that I kept waiting for the punchline, and it didn't come. This one, it kind of deals with the aftermath in a really realistic for comics way. You really get inside what she's going through. She confronts the Red Hulk, which starts them on a new adventure as an unlikely duo. And they also deals with kind of the practical elements of how does a teenager who goes to school live on her own? How is she going to survive? But it's a really touching story of of loss, and she's talking to another friend who's also lost a parent. And for all the heavy material, this is still action-packed. It's a pleasure to look at, and I can't wait for more.
First one I've got is Batman Beyond number 2, and this one goes exactly where I wanted it to go from number 1, where Terry McGinnis takes on the Justice League, and so it was incredible. It was great. He decides, I'm not going to spoil it for you. He makes a little revelation while he's fighting them, and you definitely need to get this issue. This one is much better than issue number 1, even though issue number 1 was a great start to the series, so definitely.
I've got Invincible Iron Man 500.1. This is part of Marvel's whole .1 program. You can find them all on our website at tfaw.com/marvel-point-1, or look for the sidebar button. That's probably easier. But these are great jumping on points for readers, but it doesn't mean that regular readers aren't going to love them too. They're done by the same regular creative team, so this is, Laraco and Fraction doing it. It's just a good place to start. If you've a lapsed reader, this kind of tells Tony's history through him telling his story as an alcoholic at an AA meeting.
Wow.
And it's there's so many different origin stories, so many different times they tell the Iron Man origin story, but having this twist on seeing it through his filter of booze really made it interesting. It wasn't just oh, here we go again. It was a really interesting take on it. It touched on a lot of different parts in his life.
And the art's just amazing.
Yeah, all the people in his life, and it had a funny little ending. So it was great for both regular readers, and if you've been wanting to get into it, worried that you won't be able to catch on, this is
Perfect issue. I've got DC Universe Online Legends. It's based off number 1. Sorry, it's based off of the video game, and it is super amazing. Actually, I was really impressed with how they did this one. Lex partners with Brainiac to take over Earth, basically, and kind of kill all the superheroes because he just wants Superman dead. And so, sorry if. No, I'm not going to spoil this one either. Be careful what you wish for, because you might have something worse in store for you. Wonderful issue. Definitely, if you have to buy just 1 or 2 comics, this is going to be a good one to get.
Yes, sounds awesome. I have got the Superman 80-page spectacular, which unfortunately today I was pressed for time, so I didn't get to read it in depth, but I cannot wait to come back to this. This is a bunch of short stories, all by awesome creators like, Colin Coover and Paul Tobin, got Neil Cleo and Dean Haspiel, and they touch on all these different characters in the Superman mythos. You see his father, Kal-El. There's stories, a humorous story about Perry White hanging out in a bar with a superhero and getting in a fight. There is a beautifully done bizarro tale. Colin Coover and Paul Tobin co-write a story about Lois Lane kind of going on a wild goose chase when Lana kind of needles her. There's a Supergirl story. There's a Superboy story. It's just little tidbits. It's like a greatest hits, CD. All these amazing writers and artists. This makes it a one-shot that's really worth.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah, there's something for everybody, and it's really worth the cover price of $5.99.
If there's one comic on my list, it's this one. It's Cable Deadpool number 26. Cable's dead. Spoiler alert. Sorry. And this, I just couldn't stop laughing when I was reading this.
Laughing.
It was amazing.
I was trying to read.
This is the best Cable. This is the best Deadpool comic that I've read in years. So if there's one comic to get this week, it's Cable Deadpool 26.
Nice. I'm going to have to read it because he was laughing
So
much.
good.
I always wish that Dark Horse did more hardcovers. Like, I've always been like, how come they don't do more Buffy Season 8 hardcovers or this? And then they show me why. Because when they do a hardcover, they do it right. This is the BPRD Plague of Frogs, you know, Volume 1. It is a premium hardcover. Look how... It's really big. And it's kind of their answer to the Hellboy Library Edition. It's not quite the size of that, but it's definitely the quality. And it's, you know, it's gathering a lot of the BPRD stories to this date with all the wonderful creators. You've got, you know, Guy Davis, and it's just so nice to see it in this nice, lasting, hardcore form. Did I say hardcore?
Hardcore. It is hardcore.
Hardcore hardcover format. Fight! So if you have one delicious hardcover you're going to buy, this is it.
Last one I have is Stephen King's The Stand, No Man's Land, number 1 of 5. Short on time, so I can't tell you much about it, but if you've been in that series, you're not going to be disappointed by that book. So for all of these new releases, go ahead and click any Red Arriving This Week button up at the top of any page on TIFA, or there's a link on YouTube down below for all of these and more.
And also, I want to thank Nameless Savage again for recommending Spider-Girl number 3.
Bye.